Your former bathroom?
No, it's good.
Alright, we're off Pirates.
Yeah.
On our way out of Adventureland into Frontierland. Again, this is the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You're starting to see construction walls. And that's where that is. Then it replaced Splash Mountain. But it's just about done. They're doing some finishing touches, but the ride itself is complete. Major renovations, switching out all the animatronics to new things, changing the song, doing some lighting and a ton of landscaping. They've been working on that landscaping for the better part of a year now. It's got to be running. It looks like people are up there in the field. We're gonna try our luck at Big Thunder Mountain and see what the time is like on that. When we first got here, it was temporarily closed, so it didn't display a wait time. So we're gonna walk over and just see what it's like. It might be another one of the main attractions that we come back during our special event time. But we'll get close enough to see the standby time and go from there. Standby is 35. What do you want? Do you want to come back to this? Okay. We're gonna come back. It's 35, which really isn't that bad. But personally, I think that that's listed wrong, only because of where the standing line is, way past the entrance. I'm thinking that's probably closer to 45, maybe even a slightly more. Disney does a decent time. Sometimes they will list a higher time just to kind of set expectation. That way, right at the end of the day, you're like, hey, that ride said 45 minutes and we only waited 30. You feel better about the wait. There's the old Splash Mountain, now Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And we are ride testing only. They've been doing this pretty much every day. That's the big drop. They fixed a bunch of stuff. There was even an area of the track where it was coming more and more common where they would hit a small drop and then the boat actually was starting to not necessarily sink, because the boats don't fully submerge, but they do fill up almost completely with water, and they were having to evacuate guests every now and then. So it's kind of neat. They fixed that and obviously gave it a bunch of upgrades. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see they planted a bunch of more greenery too. And they're giving it that bayou swamp feel here and there. All right, and we're off.
I know. Yeah, kind of running. Pirates of the Caribbean is here.
No, if anybody remembers from the 90s, but there was Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. And that's Tom Sawyer Island. Doesn't look like it's running right now. Normally there's that dock over there and these ferries that will take people from one platform to the next, and then you can walk around Tom Sawyer Island, but it doesn't look like it's running right now. Another thing you'll see here, again, we don't know if it's running right now. It'll be hard to miss if it is, but there is a massive paddle boat with the wheel on the back there. And that is considered an attraction here. It's about a 20-minute ride around this little small lake because it goes so slow. So if you're looking for a place to sit and relax for a tiny bit, you know, and if you get on a deck underneath something, obviously, which is most of the seating, it's kind of out of the sun, so you can get some shade and some foot rest for 20 minutes. We don't tell people to normally do it because, again, 20 minutes is a big chunk of time when you're in a place that is really depending on you being super efficient with your time to do everything.
You'd be angry if I wasn't doing the more.
There's the boat. I'm not seeing anybody on it. I don't know when they're doing it, but they do also occasionally have the boat will go around and there will be a bunch of characters on it. I watched it as a kid one time where a cast member was unlucky enough where he had slipped from the middle deck. He was like on the edge of the railing, kind of like leaning over or whatever, and fell to the bottom level. But luckily fell onto the bottom level and not into the water, because that would be pretty scary. I imagine when you have those costumes on. Can't imagine how heavy they would be when they're wet. So again, we're just continuing our way here. Our next main attraction in this direction, there's the Hall of Presidents and some restaurants and some shops, things like that we've been passing. But over here past the boat and to the left, you can see the Haunted Mansion. So we're gonna head towards that. That's a nice ride. Again, hot day. It's awesome. It's decently cold, typically. Super shady because, again, everything's dark inside. And you sit in a nice little clamshell style thing and you just sit back and relax. So depending on the wait time there, if it's 20 minutes or less, give or take, we will be doing that.
Ready? Are you ready? I can. It was 89. 85.
Oh, how unlucky can you be? Drop that phone so many times in a row. Poor phone. Good gaggles of people over here, but I don't see them pulling the queue over here, which is always a decent sign. Just kind of a closer view of the side of the boat there. It was really cool. Good old steam paddle boat. Big Thunder in the back. So there is a bit of an extended queue. $25 into bed. Alright, so we're gonna go on a Haunted Mansion queue and we'll see you inside.